Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape.
Awards.
And Zach Hamilton.
Christmas.
Awards Christmas.
I got a little Christmas background.
Yeah.
For anyone who can't see,
it's a beautiful home that is exactly where Zach lives.
yeah, it's totally where I am right now.
Definitely.
Well, I wanted to have. I put up my Christmas tree and I wanted it to be in shot, but it looked just bad because I didn't light it.
What are you talking about? That looks beautiful.
No, I mean, obviously this actually looks. I wonder why I keep disappearing.
You yourself are trapped in some kind of time continuum, but apart from that, the tree looks delicious.
You guys doing okay?
Oh yeah,
good, man. Yeah,
all the better for seeing you, honey.
Oh mate,
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. I would blow you a kiss.
It's one of my favorite times of the week, man. It's podcast time.
Podcast. You know what? I've been really excited this week, as you can probably imagine. I'm going to get into it a little bit later on, but my PS5.
You got a PS5.
It actually arrived.
Yeah,
I've
Next gen, baby.
I was so shocked as well, and I'll get into it a little bit later on, but I was so shocked because I thought it was going to take 3 weeks, and it took 8 days. So I'll take that. I was very shocked, and it was like, your parcel is arriving today. And I was like, okay, great. And
was it a voice message, or is that the voice you've put
that
on?
That was the voice of the driver that definitely didn't sound like that, but I just wanted to give him, cheerier sound.
Yeah, was it Dav?
It was Dav.
I wish.
Did he try and steal it?
Yeah, do you know? I was watching from the window. I was outside. I was like, Dav Weeks. Yeah. By the way,
PS5.
Dav Weeks is not here because he's in rehearsals, but we send our love.
Exciting.
Yeah, we do love him. But yeah, if you are listening to this for the first time, then hello, we are Video Games Ahoy. And if you know us, then hello and welcome back. We put these episodes out every Saturday morning. Where you can listen to us via the podcast host of your choice. But if you want to see these delicious faces, then heading over to YouTube because we check every episode on over there as well. And stick around to the end because we'll talk about Patreon and what we offer. But to everyone that does contribute, thank you so much. We are so grateful for everything you do for us and what you give. You give love, you give joy, and we just give sadness. No, we don't.
What the hell?
We're very cheery. We're very cheery.
That was a big turnaround.
I'm trying to throw you off just in different directions, but I don't feel like it's working.
Consider us tossed.
Dab likes to be tossed. Anyway, should we start with some news? I'm going to start with like I said, some personal news, and that was my PS5 actually arrived. So I'm just going to give my thoughts on it, actually, because I'll talk about streaming a little bit later on as well, because that is probably what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the games I've been playing. But Dav was actually there for most of the last night, and it was a lot of fun. Dav, I was just saying to Zach before we started, actually, I was so shocked, because I don't tend to play in 1080p 60 frames per second, because obviously it puts a strain on my computer and my internet, and neither are very good. They're fine. So I was very shocked that it held up for the most part. There didn't seem to be any problems with it, which is amazing, because I really want to show off more the 60 frames per second element of Spider-Man, because I'm going to 4K TV anyway, so that's not really going to make a difference for me. But yeah, that was great.
I gotta say, I was watching the one of the streams of you doing Spider-Man, and seeing that game in 60 frames per second is pretty crazy when you think about it. I didn't actually realize that it wasn't a 60 frames per second when I first played it, because it looks so good, on the PS4. Wow.
It's one of those things where I love the first game so much, and it's one of those things because I didn't really take on board that it was 30 frames per second back then, because I was like, it's just Spider-Man, I'm really happy to play it. But there was a conversation around it, and I was like, well, I haven't seen it in 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
So how can I be upset by it, if that makes sense? But seeing it now in 60 frames per second, when I was playing it, and Dav can testify to this, maybe not as much as seeing it in person, but it's huge. Even Rosie, when I flip between fidelity mode and performance mode, you can just see straight away just how crisp just how crisp the camera turning is. It's so gorgeous, and everything the PS5 does, the draw distances are amazing. There's the ability to just pull assets out of its freaking butt. Feels like everything's just flying at you. It's just, honestly, it's amazing. And there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about as well, because there's basically there's a few things that's been added to the PlayStation, which I'll talk about in a little bit. because there's actually been a lot of stuff come out recently about Sony and what they've done for the PS5. But I just wanted to say firstly about the controller. I haven't got a controller near me. They're both over there. I won't get up. It's fine. You've all seen it. It's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. Just it feels like the best aspects of the Pro controller and the Wii controller like rolled into a controller. Like,
I have a question.
Amazing.
The triggers have been getting a lot of marketing. What do you think about them?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's so basically, like, for instance, I haven't got Call of Duty, but I'm tempted to get it when it goes on sale, purely because I want to see how that game plays. Because from what I've heard, and I felt it in other games, but obviously I want to playing it in COD will be different. But with Call of Duty, you play the game and the triggers react like a gun would. So you pull them and there's resistance and it snaps back, which is it's crazy. It's just the idea that would be a thing, and for some people they don't like it and they'll turn it off. But I just think it's really clever. It's
a really clever bit of integration if it works, because obviously we can get closer and closer to imitating reality in different ways, and obviously virtual reality is a big part in that. Making your graphics look better is a big part of it, but there are a lot of like subtle things that have happened over the years that I think we take for granted. I mean, like vibration in your controller was not a given forever. You got the Rumble Pack.
Rumble Pack was the first one, wasn't it? The first one.
And that was like not very good, but like comparatively, but it still felt like this amazing upgrade.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, of course, it has Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
It's very interesting as well because with the controller in general, like this PlayStation 4 controller is quite small and it's not it's comfortable, but it's kind of fine. I think it's the worst of the three when you compare it to the Xbox controller and the Pro controller. Pro controller for me is much better than the PlayStation 4 controller, and it also has, as you know, Zach, terrible battery life. Like it
does kind of have terrible battery. I don't mind it too much because I mostly play on my own, so I can switch out and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of lame.
10 hours usually, which is not.
It's not great, is it?
It's not like. So if I actually just to talk about my PS5 again, when I bought it, I had to buy it in a package, so I had to buy it with another accessory, and the accessory options were like a whole year of PlayStation Plus. Another controller, and there was something else. And the controller one stood out for me the most. I was like, I'm going to get the most use from this. And I'm really glad I did buy that. I'm glad I spent that extra £50 because I have just like, that classic thing of, okay, this one's dying because it's still, the battery life is still not amazing. It's the worst aspect of the controller. I'll just swap it up for the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going back to the PS5 in general, the UI is pretty basic. In fact, I would actually say when it comes to finding games and deals, it's pretty bad. It's as bad as the Nintendo eShop was at the start, and I imagine it'll get better. I imagine there will be an upgrade at some point. There's not many games in the PS5
Is it
anyway.
Worse than the PlayStation 4 one?
Yes. Yeah.
That's weird. Why not just carry it all over?
I think it's just I've said this before. I think more the PlayStation it feels like than the Xbox. I feel like the PlayStation might have been a bit rushed, whereas I don't feel like the Xbox is as much. I mean, there's been way more issues with the PlayStation in general than the Xbox. But saying that, I've not experienced any major issues myself. All I would say is I imagine there'll be an upgrade soon, and it'll be fine. It's just, for instance, I was looking for deals, like just to see how to find them essentially. And it was really tricky. You actually had to like. There was no like, here's the latest deal, 70% off. Usually on the PS4, you've got that button there that you can click straight away, and there's not one on the PS5. I imagine they'll add that stuff in. Like I said, it's been out for 2 weeks, so it's not a complaint. It's just it's not very good. That's how it is. It's so quiet though. Like and Dav, I imagine the Xbox Series X is exactly the same. It's shockingly quiet.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this story to you both, and I said this on stream, but to anyone that is interested to know just the differences between the PS4 and the PS5, I still have. So if you're watching YouTube, my PS4 is here, and my PS5 is just over there. And I'll talk a little bit about actually sharing from the PS5 to the PS4, which is also amazing, and I didn't know about actually. But I played Spider-Man on both consoles at the same time. One to check the loading times, but also to hear the difference.
Sure.
This one was. This one took 25 seconds to get from to load the game, to actually just get from the main menu to start playing it, and that took 3 seconds, which is it's just ridiculous. And then this one was just you could hear it, like you could hear it from the kitchen. Whereas I can play the PS5 with Rosie, like if Rosie wanted to sleep or something, I could play that and she wouldn't be able to hear it. It's that quiet.
Yeah.
So it is incredible. I'm going to talk about activities that are later on, but I just wanted to give, that's my first opinions on it. I mean, the games that I played mainly have been Spider-Man, Miles Morales, which I completed, and I'll talk about a little bit later on, and the Spider-Man remaster, which again I'll talk about later on. But,
did you actually finish? You finished Miles Morales already?
Yeah, it's only about 15 hours, and I've had it for about a week, and that first week, I mean, Dad will probably agree. You get that brand spanking new console. You don't put the controller down.
No, dude, I totally get that. No, I just I thought you were streaming it all actually.
Oh, the thing is, I was planning on doing it, but I just kept playing it, and like what I realized was I was playing no, but it wasn't even like I was like, I'm not going to do the story. I'm not going to do the story.
Yeah, of course.
And then like I was like, oh, I'll do this story, and then I was like,
I'll just do this one. It's fine.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I'm halfway through the game. Whoops. Okay, that is. And I was like, you know what? I'll just play the Spider-Man remastered, because at least then I can. There are some people who played it previously who can contribute to how different it looks and how different it plays.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun. Actually, I'll talk about later on. But I'm gonna get to the first news topic. I just thought I'd give my thoughts on the PS5, and for me, it's incredible. It really is, and I'm really excited to see what comes out. So there's a gentleman called Patrick Koplek of Vice wrote an article about the activities addition to the PlayStation 5 UI, and it's actually genius. This is the thing I was just about to talk about, which is something called activities. The documents distributed to a select number of developers in 2019 were part of a 2-part presentation explaining activities and game help, which lets players pull up walkthrough videos on their PS5s without YouTube. Sony explained that in reality, its internal tracking data showed that single-player games are thriving, and PlayStation users are regularly spending more time playing offline than online. That actually shocked me, for one.
That's pretty surprising.
Yeah, I was really surprised that, considering so many people I know played multiplayer stuff online and put so many hours into it. But apparently, according to Sony, single-player games people are playing it more than multiplayer games, which is then the number one demographic, if you will, of genre, however you want to describe it. It's what everyone is playing the PlayStation 4, which is great. The company had then outlined what players say their problems are, however, with single player games. So these are just a couple of quotes they threw out there, and it's a really interesting topic that we can really discuss actually after this, because it has loads of permutations really. So no idea how long I might need. Don't play unless I have 2 + 3 hours. That's one quote. Another one is takes a lot of time to scan through long help videos when stuck. How to engage socially without risk of spoilers, like on Twitter and stuff. I forgot what I was doing in this game last time, so it was hard to get back in, which is something I actually struggle with quite a lot. If I put a game, like this is why I've said previously, if I play a game, I have to complete it. I have to, because I'll just forget where I am. This is the last bit I really want to talk to you guys about, and then I'll hear you guys' thoughts. So the presentation at times cites Sony surveys Sony has conducted to learn more about what its players think, but it does not lay out many specifics about the data itself. One survey said it spoke with nearly 3,000 players. The problem Sony proposed was that people don't have enough information to determine when and how they should play a single-player game, alongside being able to jump around between different quests. Sony's activity feature would suggest how long it would take to finish a quest, allowing players to find something that best fit with the time that they have available. So, just to wrap it up, and then we can have a quick chat about it. Activities is actually incredible. It genuinely is incredible. I didn't notice it until 2 days ago. So I played all of Miles Morales without knowing what it was, because I was just so preoccupied about playing the game. And I started playing Spider-Man the Remastered. And if you click the PlayStation logo on the controller whilst you're playing a game, it brings up a couple of things. It brings up, one, the percentage you are through a specific mission. So if you're doing a mission, it'll tell you, one, how long the mission is. It'll tell you how far through the mission you are as a percentage, and if you're stuck, it actually gives you a specific walkthrough about specific. If your next part of the quest is find this, it gives you an option to click on there, and a video will pop up straight away whilst you're playing, saying this is how you do it and showing you exactly how to do the exact thing you want at the exact moment, which I actually think is amazing. And
So they're talking about using information that already exists online. They're not making it themselves.
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if this is just the developers of the games themselves adding these things in. I imagine it is, but it's still information. It's basically information from the Sony UI. It's not like dragging it from like Google. It's like coming up on a Sony like box. I'll show it to you guys later, actually. But it's really cool.
I mean, that if it's coming from developers, that's cool, but that's adding presumably a good amount of time to development, right?
I imagine it might do, but at the same time,
because we're talking about the specifics, especially with a big game like let's say Marvel Spider-Man, there could be a lot of things you could want to know about that game.
Absolutely. I do think there's a lot of things that will be fairly easy to put across, like how far away you are through a level, because they'll know roughly how long a level takes to beat, so that shouldn't take too long. But yeah, you are totally right. It is added extra pressure, but I think it's I'd be interested.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, I think it's it's kind of where we've been headed for the last 10, 15 years of internet videos of walkthroughs or whatever. I wonder if that'll change things. I mean, if it is done through the system, if that'll change the gaming content on sites like YouTube and stuff. I wonder how that'll affect it.
Yeah, well, there'll be less reasons for you to have a walkthrough, for instance, on just to the side of you, because you can just go, all right, I can do this in seconds. I can find out exactly where I need to go and what I need to do. I mean, you don't need to use it. Like I said, I didn't even notice it. So the fact that I didn't even notice it means that if you don't want to use it, it's
well, no, of course. I mean, it's the same goes for the stuff that's available now. Like you can always find a walkthrough for a game, but you don't have to.
But yeah, how about you, Dev? Is there anything like that interests you, for instance, like when you hear stuff like that, or like what are your thoughts?
I'll be honest, the activities thing doesn't really interest me at all. I think it's kind of gimmicky, and I do worry about like how many developers are actually going to do it. And I don't know. I don't feel like I need direction on what to do in a game.
To be fair, I that's totally fine. Like I said, I would agree with that for the most part, but I think this is specifically aimed at the people who struggle to complete games because of work constraints and time constraints. And I think it was just I think like for my brother, for instance, I think people with kids or like people who just have very limited time playing games, I think that those are the people that it's aimed at.
Another thing we have to bear in mind, of course, is we're talking about the three of us who have spent a reasonable amount of time playing games. So it's like stuff that just makes sense to us.
Yeah.
It's like
game and logic and stuff. Yeah.
But it's not the walkthroughs that I don't vibe with. I think that's actually quite cool. It's when it's like, here's a challenge that you could do for a trophy, and it's like that. I literally have zero interest.
That's true. I've never really got that.
I would rather a list of what trophies I already have. A comparison thing, like to see like, I wonder like if so-and-so, if Jonny's got that trophy that just popped up on my screen.
Like, I think that does that does as well, actually, because I think one of my friends is playing, is it Astrobot? I think it's called Astrobot, or Astro's Playroom, I think it's called, actually. He beat me in one of the things. I barely played it, and it came up saying this guy is number one. I was like, you
that's quite fun. That's been going for a long time though. I mean, I even when I was playing the Uncharted series, I'm sure it told me like how many kills I got compared to someone else who'd been playing it. That game's not.
But for that, like that space where it is, the activities in that space, or like just the games that I have that I could access right now, like show me like, I want to play something else. I just scroll down. It's got a list of my most recently played. That would be more comfortable for me. I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's just not for me at all. I can see why some people might appreciate it. Just for me, it looks cumbersome and feels like it would get in the way.
Fair enough. I mean, absolutely fair enough. Like I said, I'll show you guys later when it comes to like Spider-Man, just quickly, because it's again, I do agree with you, Dav, in many ways that like for us, it's not really something I'm going to use ever, really. But it is still really. I think it's for a lot of people who feel like they've got like 2 hours to kill and they need to know how long a mission is going to take. And Zach, you make a really good point as well. And I'll finish up with this actually. We tend to have a feeling for how long missions take in most games because we've played so many. So we kind of go, I know this is going to take about 30 minutes. I know this feels like it's going to take.
You can get it wrong sometimes, but you kind of do get a vibe for. It depends on the game, of course, because there are some games that I still fucking know.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'll show you guys after the stream. But if you are listening and you want to check it out, have a look on YouTube. It's really, really cool. But yeah, we'll keep with PlayStation because PlayStation 5 has broken the record for UK's biggest ever console launch, according to Andy Robertson of VGC. Launch sales for Sony's console far exceeded the UK's previous record holder, 2013's PlayStation 4, which sold 250,000 units in its first 48 hours. It means PS5 significantly outsold the launch of the Xbox Series X and S in the region, but we knew that was the case, purely just down to numbers and Xbox having to catch up. But PS4 was always targeting the UK and America, basically. It was PS5, sorry, is always targeting those two places. But that has already sold 155,000 units. And the thing is, when you put it, well, I'll read out the list of like the top 10, I think it is, and it's Xbox Series X is done pretty well, considering that PS5, yeah, okay, it's the best it's ever done, but Xbox Series X is not far behind. With regards to the rest of the consoles, I'll come to that in a little bit. The most popular PS5 model at launch was the more expensive disc drive edition, which is what I have, which, like Series X, accounted for around 2/3 of UK launch sales. However, the sales figures come with the caveats due to significant supply constraints for both Xbox Series X and X and S and PS5. The consoles would likely have sold even better if more stock was available. I could guarantee that would be the case. I know so many people who wanted those consoles and couldn't get them. But these, so I'm just gonna read through these sales really quickly, just because I find them fascinating, especially the third bottom, which, considering where it's at now, you can probably guess it's a bit of a shock. So the Wii U's UK console launch was 40,000. So PlayStation 5 sold 200,000 more in the same period of time. Xbox 360 was last but one, which is 70k. Nintendo Switch was third bottom with 80k. And considering how well it's doing now, I think I read a stat just before I came on. The Nintendo Switch has been the best-selling console in the UK for like 21 of the last 24 months, which is, it tells you how well the Switch is doing here. Then it's the Nintendo DS, then it's the Wii, then the 3DS, then the Xbox One. Then you come to the Xbox Series X, which is 155k. So it is about 100k behind PS5. But
so wait, does the 155,000 include the Series S or
yeah,
not?
They're combined in the same one. So X and S are the same one. Yeah. Then it's PS3, PSP, PS4, and then PS5. But apart from the
PSP,
PSP sold 185,000 units in the same.
What is this country doing?
To be fair,
man, don't talk about this country and what they buy. If you go on any like UK charts, it's just FIFA, GTA, COD, and that's it.
To be fair, the PSP at the time did kind of feel like something, because it was like the first time you could play PlayStation. It was essentially PlayStation 1.
You could play Ridge Racer.
Yeah, well, you could play GTA on a handheld, which was pretty great.
It was. PSP was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
It's a pretty cool console. I think it's kind of... I think it's still... it's not my favorite console by any stretch, but I think it deserves more credit than I think it gets nowadays.
I disagree firmly.
I'll have to find one. I never owned one actually, so I might find one and see if I can do like a comeback with a stronger argument.
That'd be really cool actually. For me personally, I love the Vita, the PSP, because especially when you compare it to the Vita, which genuinely wasn't great and didn't.
I don't even know what the Vita was exactly. I
it's
never
not even on the list, so I
never even heard of anyone owning one. So I never. What was it exactly?
Just like a newer PSP. It was the next gen for PSP.
Right.
But it wasn't up for very long, and it didn't do very well, especially in comparison to the 3DS. The PSP, it did well, but it just got absolutely smashed by the DS, which is understandable. DS, I think, is the second best-selling console, if you include handheld consoles of all time, which is pretty incredible. But yeah, both PS5 and Xbox Series X and S are doing quite well. Really well. eBay has issued a warning to scammers who are selling photos of PlayStation 5 on their account. Wesley, I believe this is Wesley Yin-Pool of Eurogamer, writes that since the PS5 went on sale, people have flooded auction sites such as eBay with misleading listings, and one of the more prominent of these involves the sale of a photo of the console masquerading as the console itself. eBay has now issued a statement on the matter, saying it's working to pull these listings from its site and vowed to take action against those it finds to be scamming others. So basically, I don't know if you need me to repeat what I just said. Just explain, if anyone that is listening, people are going on eBay, putting up pictures of either the console or the box, and then selling the picture.
this is a really old problem. I feel like eBay should have pulled their finger out about stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but surely this has been a problem for at least 10 years on all products, not just PlayStations. I mean, that's always been a thing. How is that still coming through?
I think the issue might come down to a sort of a more wide-scale thing of eBay can't show what they would value objects. If it was I don't know, a picture of a tree, for instance, that a 5-year-old had drawn, and that sold for 200 quid, who are eBay to tell either party that that's not a worthwhile deal?
Yeah.
And so, like, if they go, right, you're not selling these photos, these photos of PS5s anything more than a fiver, because otherwise we'll know that you're being fraudulent. But then you go, okay, so now we know that the value of this thing is up to a fiver and no more. Yeah. And then, you get
but the problem isn't, presumably though, the listings are a picture of a box and they say it's an actual PlayStation or whatever it is.
Sometimes no. Sometimes this is a PlayStation 5, whatever, and then in the description somewhere it'll say this is a photo, not a thing.
In that case, I don't have that much sympathy because I feel like you should... Because, I don't know, my assumption is if I go on eBay and I see a PlayStation, I'm going to be, like, really careful that I'm not about to spend 500 quid on nothing. Even if it's from, like, from PlayStation. If I bought a PlayStation from Sony themselves, I'd still be checking, like, am I wasting my 500? I don't know. Maybe that's not very kind of me. No,
that's totally fair. But, like, a lot of shop sellers on eBay these days are, like, actual shops. Like, Argos is on eBay, stuff like that. And if you just have PS5 450 quid, you're going to assume that's the PS5.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
And think about, like, if it's not your first language.
Yes.
But you know what the retail is for that in that. And if you're like a nervous grandmother who's like, I've got to get my young Jonny a PS5 before he gets it from Very and takes 8 days to arrive.
That's how Jonny got his PS4.
It's actually just a picture. I've been lying to you this entire time.
You've been streaming YouTube videos of Spider-Man on Twitch.
It's like, this is me.
Wait, how did you pause the game like that?
Well, it's weird because like I totally get what you're saying, Zach. It's up to
I can see. I mean, I don't know. It's just for me. I'm so cautious of buying stuff online.
Jonny, this is a guy who likes the PSP. Don't listen to him.
I liked a console that was both cartridges and discs at the same time.
It was weird, wasn't it? It was so weird.
And then sold films. With the UHD, UMD.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. They're like whole
weird,
movies.
Like, not egg shape. Oh, so bizarre.
I think that's quite a good idea still.
Mate, those films haunted like game stores for
in
years.
2008. Come on.
Yeah. To be fair, the one thing I will say for me, the PSP was purely just to play Crisis Core, and I'll happily say that was worth it. That game is awesome, and I love. Well, it's Final Fantasy VII. I'll consume anything from that flipping series of games. But
Me too.
Zach is up there, number one fan.
Big Final Fantasy fan.
Number one Final Fantasy fan. But yeah, I just to finish on that point, I do agree with you to an extent in that people should be checking.
Yeah, really, all this is just a little disclaimer, a little reminder for everyone. Make sure you check when you're buying anything.
Yeah,
always
exactly.
check. But
and
I can
humans
see
are awful, so really triple check.
I can see how it could happen.
And see how it
could happen.
It does feel like there's, especially like when you are right as well about like it seems like our parents are a generation of people who tend to trust what the internet says more than maybe our generation does. We're a bit more aware of stuff like that. So like, is this a scam? Whereas our parents are like, oh yes, I'll buy this PlayStation for £400.
I think also we don't have.
I'm definitely generalizing,
so we're all kind of like
anyone that is older than me, but yeah. Sorry, Zach,
there's not many people older than you, Jonny.
Zing! I think we probably should move on from that before I start crying. Good news.
Forget where you are.
What?
What's a podcast?
Good news, however, is that Amazon UK is contacting any customers who were victims of PS5 fraud, theft, offering them priority placement for any of the new next-gen console installment that they get. They say in an email, we are pleased to confirm that we will be able to secure a PS5 for you as a replacement for the order that you didn't receive. but consumers will need to contact customer services in order to confirm that they still want the system, and it'll be delivered in 14 days. Just on top of this as well, I mean, that's fair enough. Amazon's doing that. I mean, I think that's good considering how many stories there were. I think I mentioned last week about Very. I actually got a phone call from them checking to see whether I wanted to, because if I did want to, they were going to cancel my order completely. And I have seen today that I think Very have cancelled 1,000 orders of the Xbox Series X/S. I don't know which one it is.
I don't think it was Very, was it?
I think it was Very. I think it was Very.
Oh, okay.
They cancelled like 1,000 orders just because I think a lot of them were...
they were a scammer group. They got found out.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, yeah, great.
Sorry, scalper group.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, but still... Good. I mean, anyone that did lose that, I do genuinely feel for them. I can't imagine how awful it must be to be so hyped for something that you think is coming, and then someone takes it. It sucks. But yeah, hopefully everyone who did lose out gets their console. Now, gents, I don't know if you know, Zach probably definitely won't, and I do apologize for bringing it up, but the Nintendo Switch had an update yesterday, which actually added some really cool stuff. Zach's sad/angry face. Nintendo Switch Online was added to the home menu, which a lot of people are actually complaining about. It's quite... I don't have an issue with it, but it's coming up with just that Switch logo, but instead of it blending with the rest of the logos at the bottom, it's just red. So it just stands out quite a lot, which I don't mind, but it's cool, and it takes you to basically the Switch Online like home section where you can access loads of things. And it's actually got some cool data on there as well. Like it tells you when certain games came out, which I quite liked. I think the game that came out closest to Rosie being born was Super Mario 2, which I thought was quite cool. But yeah, so I'll keep talking about what was on there. So a new feature that automatically downloads backed up save data was added to the save data cloud. A new trending feature was added to the user page, which shows you what your friends are currently, what was the last thing your friend played, what most people in your friendship group are playing, which I thought was quite cool. Users can now transfer screenshots and videos from album to their smart devices, which again I quite like that. That's quite cool. Because it is a pain to get them previously. But
that's the thing is I always take screenshots on consoles, but then I never look at those screenshots ever again. I got some great screenshots on my consoles. Never look at them.
Yeah, never look at them because there's no way to transfer them, but at least on the Switch you can. A new copy to a computer via USB connection feature was added under System Settings, Data Management, Manage Screenshots and Videos, which again is quite cool. They're trying to at least make it more accessible.
Wait, say that again?
Copy to a computer via USB connection, so basically you can just
transfer.
Great. That's a really cool option because...
Can you do it with an external hard drive?
I imagine so. I mean, you wouldn't be able to play it on there, but at least you can transfer it to it. And then
but I was gonna say, yeah.
Which is just helpful. It's just helpful.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
Options, you know. That's all. That's
exactly.
great. Can't complain about options. Users can now select what download to prioritize when there are multiple downloads in progress. Again, I like that. I mean, it should have been there from the first place, but at least it's there. User icons were added. I don't want to spoil it, but essentially they were just Mario. So just Mario. Users can now name preset button mappings. And Brazilian Portuguese was added as a supported language, which again, any language that gets added is great for anyone that needs it. I think, again, options are great. But yeah, I mean, it seemed to be pretty sizable. I'm still hoping for Nintendo to add more than what they currently have with the NES and the SNES. Maybe Game Boy, that'd be quite nice.
Yeah.
N64 would be the dream.
Come on.
That would be the dream.
Are they going to do that, do you think? I mean...
It's easy. Well, the thing is, with the 3D All Stars collection, they're running on Nintendo's own emulators, so they've already got the emulators ready to go.
I guess though, because they want that's sort of the stage where they want to remaster stuff, right? Like they want to do like Mario 64. I guess all the big ones that I can think of have already been put onto newer consoles.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Nintendo, we're going to move on slightly. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is quite funny. But also, I guess great for anyone that is a Pokemon fan, but spoon-bending magician Uri Geller has finally given Nintendo permission to print Kadabra on Pokemon cards again after a 20-year-long legal battle in which Geller claimed the character's likeness was too familiar to his own. That's nice.
That is amazing. I never knew that wasn't allowed.
He actually apologized for it as well. He said, this is a quote from him directly, "I am truly sorry for what I did 20 years ago. Kids and grown-ups... tweeted, kids and grown-ups, I am releasing the ban. It's now up to Nintendo to bring my Kadabra Pokemon card back. It will probably be one of the rarest cards now. Much energy and love to all. So at least he actually apologized for it as well. But it seems mad that I didn't know that was the case.
Is he getting like given loads of money or?
I don't know. He seemed like he seemed very remorseful about it. I doubt it's a money thing. I think he was just like, why was I doing this?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he is getting money. It probably is money, but yeah.
I don't know. No, I'm just interested. Like, it seems like kind of a big U-turn to take on something that he clearly fought hard over.
Yeah. You return.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to another Nintendo topic. And this is something really cool. When we're eventually allowed to go outside again, we can go to Japan because Universal Studios Japan's Super Nintendo World theme park will officially open on the 4th of February 2021. Did you see the video?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
It's so funny because for a long time, me and Rosie have always talked about going to Japan because Japan seems like an amazing country to go to. Like, there's so many historical things, cultural things I want to see, and also Nintendo. It's just like, whilst I'm there, I may as well go there. But yeah, it looks great. I don't know if
that's cool.
Do you guys have any thoughts about it, or just?
It's awesome when I have anywhere near enough money to go. Then I'll start caring a lot more.
I definitely
have fun, Japan, you bastards.
Yeah. We should definitely put it on the VGA credit card. Not that we have one, but we should definitely.
Can we do like a what do you call it? Like a Kickstarter for us to go. We're gonna make a documentary about us going to Japan.
Yes.
It'll be filmed on my phone.
And no one
won't be aired.
Yeah.
No, awesome. Yeah, it looks great. I know it is eventually coming to Florida, but if I had the choice of two, I would rather go to Japan anyway because I've never been and I'd love to go. And finally, this is the final news topic. This is probably not for me and Dav, but Zach, you should definitely take up this offer. New subscribers to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate can get 3 months for just £1 throughout December and January. This means you get access to the full package, including 400 plus Xbox Game Pass for console and PC titles, various Game Pass perks, for instance, the 30 days of Disney Plus for free, and the complete lineup of EA Play games. I think anyone that is a gamer, has a decent computer, and even if you don't have a decent computer, you have a decent phone, take up that option. Free, like, for £1, like, so many amazing things. It works on Android really well. Take up that option. I would absolutely recommend it.
I mean, just a month of Disney Plus is worth £1.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I binge watched The Simpsons series 1 to 10 like maybe 3 times over lockdown.
Wait, are they included?
Yeah. So you get Disney Plus for 30 days if you if you just paid £1.
Xbox is going to have a crazy monopoly over the next few years.
But it's only a month of Disney Plus. It's not a full Disney Plus subscription.
Right. Still, jeez.
Yeah, still a month. Still great. But that is it. That is the news. Feels more positive than it has been recently. But yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Feels nice. Yeah. Does anyone want to talk about any games they've been playing? I've got some stuff, but I'll leave it. I've talked.
Why don't you start, Jonny? You never start.
Okay. Well, I'll try and talk about it as quickly as possible. I'm not going to give any spoilers, just in because I know
please.
Wrap
it up.
Yeah.
Going on enough already.
Well, the thing is like I know Zach might want to play Spider-Man Remastered, and actually Miles Morales is on the PS4 as well.
Yeah. This is the thing is, I feel like I could definitely play both.
Oh, it'll be fine on the PS4. It's just loading times. I mean, it won't look as good, but it's still a good game. It's still worth it.
Yeah, Zach. It won't look as good.
Not on my brand spanking new shiny.
Yeah, seriously.
It's actually, again, just a picture, but still. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about Miles Morales. I think it's genuinely a really good game, and it showcases how good the PS5 can be. It shows. I mean, the thing is, it's one of those weird things where, like, I want to say it is one of my favorite games of the year. It's a new game, and it is one of my favorite games of the year. But it's still basically Spider-Man remastered with a few new things added on, and that's absolutely fine. I have no problems with that. But it just feels like it feels like. Okay, the best way to describe it is when I played. So when I was playing The Witcher, they had 2 DLC expansion packs, which took about 15 hours to beat, and they could have been games in themselves. In the same way, that could have been an amazing DLC, but it's not. It's a game, and it could have gone either way, and I'm fine with it because I got both the games on the PS5 combined, and I'm playing through them both. And you know what? I love it. There are games that I played. It only took about 15 hours to beat.
So that's an interesting comparison because obviously the Witcher 3 expansions weren't £50. So how do you feel about that price point?
Well, I was just about to say that I've played games that are shorter than 15 hours, and that feels, I guess, it's not really about the time that it took, because I still love that game. And I bought the Ultimate Edition, which came with... I paid a little bit more and got the Ultimate Edition, which came with the remastered. So I guess that kind of softens it a little bit. If you're going to do it, I would highly recommend doing that, especially if you haven't played the first game, because then you were getting 2 games for that
price.
It's
such a weird thing, isn't it? Because, like, for one, I love a short game.
Yeah.
I do. Mm-hmm. I'll happily pay 50... Well, I probably wouldn't pay 50 quid for many games, but
yeah.
I'm happy to pay full price for a game regardless of its length.
Yep.
But it's so interesting because Spider-Man Remastered on its own, and you have to imagine that, like, Xbox isn't doing their smart delivery stuff with cross-gen free upgrades, all the rest of it, blah blah blah. But Spider-Man Remastered on its own as a 50 quid game, last generation, would have made sense.
Yeah.
Like, well, of course, it's remastered version on the new system. You get to play it looking brand spanking new, 50 quid. And then you can sell Spider-Man Miles Morales as like a 30 quid, like Lost Legacy, Uncharted Lost Legacy kind of game, or Blood and Wine expansion, I guess. But then it's like, oh, wait, so now Miles Morales is 50 quid. You get a lot of people who go, ears perk up like, oh, that's a bit much for a game that short. But if you pay more money, you then get a game that's probably worth more than Miles Morales. Mm-hmm. It's just so weird, and I don't really have any thoughts about that, but I thought it's weird.
No, I totally agree, because especially, like, I put about 40 hours into the original Spider-Man. Like, it's not a short game, and I didn't 100% complete it, because I think it was around the time that I was just about to play Red Dead, so I completed it just as Red Dead 2 came out, so I obviously finished it like the night before and then started Red Dead, so I didn't 100% complete it. So I don't know if I am gonna 100% complete it now, because I've got the same problem. Cyberpunk's coming out next Thursday, so I'm probably gonna, as soon as that comes, I'm dropping everything.
Next Thursday,
yeah.
You're playing the PS4 version, right?
I'm playing the PS4, but it's got upgraded graphics for PS5, but it's not. Yeah, that was all. Actually, I'll talk about that very quickly after this, because I think there was a really cool story when we did the Twitch thing yesterday. There was someone asking us about that, and we were able to tell them that get the PS4 version, because they, like, CD Projekt Red are giving a free chunky update next year, and he wasn't gonna he wasn't gonna buy it. He was gonna wait till the PS5 version came out next year. I was like, no, buy the PS4. You'll play it now, and then you can play it again next year with the chunky add-ons. But yeah, just to kind of wrap up, because again I've been talking like crazy. Miles Morales is, as a collection, it's definitely worth it. If you haven't played Spider-Man and you start playing Miles Morales, be aware there are spoilers for Spider-Man Remastered for anyone that hasn't played Miles Morales.
It's set afterwards, right?
Yeah, so it's set afterwards, and a few things are mentioned in it. So just be wary of that. There were a few moments in it which I thought were beautiful. Rosie watched the ending with me, and she was like, again, I was talking about on stream, it's gaming is getting to a point where it's as good, if not in some cases better, than some TV shows and films, and narrative wise anyway. It's getting to a point where it's great. So with regards to Spider-Man Remastered, the fact it's at 60 frames per second, as we mentioned, I think we mentioned it earlier, it just looks gorgeous. There's nothing else to say other than it looks gorgeous. And everything that the PS5 does for Spider-Man Remastered, or Spider-Man the game in general, it just makes it better. It is the best version to play. I mean, if you don't have it, Spider-Man on the PS4 is still absolutely fine. Because I did it myself. I put, again, 40 hours on the PS4. But if you get a chance to play on the PS5...
it's not going to look as good.
It's shit. It's garbage. But I'm going to take my photo of the PS5 and go back and play it.
Actually, I wonder how much Spider-Man on PS4 is now.
You could probably get it for around 20 quid.
I think it went on sale, and sales actually spiked just before Miles Morales came out.
Really?
People are like, oh, well, I'll just go and play this while I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can get it for like 17 quid. Dang.
Yeah.
15 quid here. Whoa.
Yeah, 15 quid.
Dope.
It's so tied to the PS4 in, like, the character of Spider-Man and everything else now. In my head, sometimes I think the game is called Spider-Man 4.
yeah, that makes sense. That's what it is. It's a follow-on directly from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3. with Sandman. Yeah,
Mr. Sandman. But yeah, it's a great game. I recommend it to anyone. And what was great as well is the same person that we were talking about Cyberpunk at the end of the stream we did when me and Dav were there, we were talking to loads of people. He actually said that he was probably going to buy it after watching the stream, and I was like, that's the best thing. If you can convince someone to play it just purely by watching a game, that's amazing.
Totally.
So yeah.
Totally.
Also, I'm done. I don't need to talk anymore. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Yeah, Dav, off you go.
So Monday night stream. Shout out by the way to Cutty, who Zach was calling Cutie.
Cutie's a much better name. Is it really Cutty?
It is Cutty. Yeah, it's two
Wait,
T's.
but it's T. Yeah, but it's two T's with an IE. I thought it was just like a bunch of T. Sorry, Cutty. Cutie's a way better name. I'm calling you Cutie anyway, you little cutie.
Shout out to Cutty.
No, big shout out to Cutty, who
is probably listening right now. Came, checked out the streams on Sunday and Monday. Was good fun in the chat. Pleasure to have him there. And but they were watching my Dav's Monday takeover because we didn't do multiplayer Mondays, and I started a little game called Control.
Yes.
Oh.
Man,
wait,
the vibes.
I know about Control.
The vibes of Control. It's insane. So you play a woman whose name I think was Jessie, Jessie Faden, something like that, and you walk into the sort of Federal Bureau of Control. You're like, okay, cool, and there's no one around, and it's all a bit odd. And as you go through the metal detectors, they don't go off. Turns out the building's in lockdown. But there's a little document. There's loads of documents everywhere, like they were in Quantum Break, which was Remedy's game before this. And the document's like, these are the list of like prohibited items allowed in the building. And it's like cell phones and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that's odd anyway. And then the next line is like, rubber ducks. And you're like, good. Vibe set. No rubber ducks allowed in this building. That's different. So then you find another piece of document, and you're reading these different documents as you're going through, and you're like, right, this is all something's going on here. And then you go upstairs and you find this janitor who's like humming this tune, and he's next to this boardroom, and I didn't realize until I really looked, but the boardroom didn't have a door. But like, there was loads of evidence of people having been there for a meeting.
Yeah.
But there's no door, and I'm like, all right, okay. Is this like a Last of Us 2 Zack stream moment? Or is this like real? And like, he's like, yes, you've come for the janitor's assistant job. Okay, great, come in. He's not Dutch, but that's the best I can do.
I thought he was Sean Connery.
Yeah. Sure, Sheemish Moneypenny. Big fan of Wimbledon. And so he was like, yeah, just go that way for the elevator. And so I go past him and I take a right, and I'm at the point where I went up the stairs and in, and I've come back out the way I came in, but going through the other end of the building. And so I'm like, right, well, this building is not normal then, is it? And there's an elevator there, a lift there where it wasn't. And I go, right, brilliant. What was there? Before, there was 3 portraits, one of the director of the company, one of another guy, and then one of the back of the janitor.
What? That is fraud.
And then now it's a lift. Anyway, that's just the beginning. Like, no action, nothing. And then eventually you get there, and there's all these weird shit going on, and you hear a loud bang, you go into the director's room, the director of this bureau, and he's just killed himself with something called the service weapon. Now, this service weapon is like nothing, it's not a normal gun. It's this weird sort of, it recharges by like getting its energy back, and it has different modes that you can unlock through the game. And then there's loads of sort of like gamey things, like every now and then there are little timed missions that you can do around the place. But basically the building shifts around. I can't explain this game. Like, it's so hard to explain. But basically, there's this radiation thing has exploded inside the building, and so now most of the employees that weren't wearing this special vest have turned into these half zombie-esque things.
Yeah.
But you also have like this power, this sort of female power inside your head that can like help guide you to like things you need to go to, or like that's the thing that got you to this building in the first place. And you start meeting these people in the building, and you've got to go around doing all these different missions to like help save and protect and like stop whatever is trying to like. And the main thing of this game are things called objects of power, or OOPs,
Oops.
And these are everyday objects that have a secret power. So, for instance, the service weapon, which looks kind of like a fancy gun, actually has all this bizarreness going on. But that's sort of the most extravagant object of power. The next object of power you find is a floppy disk, which can throw projectiles.
Oh wow!
And so once you defeat the floppy disk, you then have that as a power. And you press right bumper, I think, I can't remember now. But you press right bumper and you just grab the nearest thing to you, like in the air, whether it's a barrel or it's like, literally you can rip chunks out of the wall.
That's so cool.
And like a chunk just flies out of the wall and it's just floating there. You launch that and it just feels so satisfying. Just like getting a chunk of the wall, launching it at someone, popping your gun up, pap, 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 in the head, dead. Yeah. And that sort of that rhythm of the combat is just so... Oh, so glorious!
That sounds super fun. I want to play that.
Yeah, honestly, it was up. I think it won IGN's Game of the Year last year.
It was up for the big. It was up for the big Game of the Year.
It was nominated for the big one. I think Sekiro might have won that. Was it?
I think it was Sekiro. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so like, it's a well-known game, and it's a game that I bought a while back, and Xbox hinted that it was coming to Game Pass. So I thought, right, well, I paid for it, so I need to play it before it comes out on Game Pass. Otherwise, it'll feel like I paid for nothing. So I thought, right, this is a good chance to start it. Now I've got the new Xbox because it was supposed to have frame rate issues and stuff back on the old one. But yeah, oh my god, like I can't recommend it enough. I'm only three and a bit hours in, but I can't recommend that game enough.
That's awesome.
It's incredible. I can't wait until I play it next.
That's
it's
awesome.
So good.
That does sound great. You're right though. I've heard so many people say so many good things about that game, and I mean, Zach, it's perfect for you if it's on Game Pass. Is it going to be on the Android though? I think it might be on Android.
Let's have a look.
I think it might actually be on Android. But yeah, it does sound amazing. I've heard so many great things.
I actually haven't heard that much about it, but I remember seeing clips and stuff and thinking it looked cool. I don't know when. It feels like a long time ago, and also not that long ago, all at once.
Well, it was 2019, so
okay.
It feels like forever ago.
I mean,
yeah. That'll be why. That's why it sounds so weird to me.
Yeah, it'll be on Android.
There we are. Zach, £1, you get to play it on Android. I mean, Dav will definitely recommend it. I can tell you right now. Awesome, Dav. Anything else?
Nope. Chipping away at Apex Legends and Rocket League still.
Oh, I told you I downloaded Apex Legends. I might.
You have. We need to play this.
Oh, I actually just downloaded Apex again.
Oh, we should definitely try that.
Might play Monday.
We should definitely try that.
I don't know. Maybe not for your first playthrough, because there's the first couple hours of playing Apex is going to be a rough difficulty spike.
Right.
But after that, it levels off immediately, and you're like, oh, I get this game now.
I mean, I'm just terrible anyway, so it's just going to be rough the entire time.
I was going to say, I'm just going
to ride the roughness.
Ooh. I think we just play once before we stream it. Okay. That's all I'm suggesting.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Zach, anything you want to talk about, or do you want to head into the quiz?
Well, yeah, I'll just mention quickly, I've been doing Halo 3 on streaming. I'm going to continue that on Sunday, and that's been really fun. That's been really cool to go back to. It still plays really, really well. There's a couple of things that I noticed now, having played some more recent shooters, that just a little, like some of the precision shooting's not quite as precise as I remember it, and like it mostly looks really good, except for all of the characters' faces look gross.
It did look good.
That hasn't changed, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Well, to be fair, when I saw you, I popped in for like 2 minutes to watch you stream because you saw Halo, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing another look. It does still look pretty good.
Yeah, it looks all right. Like, that was quite fun. And then I actually, last Friday, I kind of jumped from that into Fable 2 because my girlfriend got back and I wanted her to play it. And I've been playing that on my own as well so that I can have a character ready to do co-op with her. I don't know how she's going to like it. I don't know how I'm going to like it. I've not played it in a few years. But I'm having fun so far, and that was good. And then I'm doing another Nuzlocke challenge, but I'm not going to mention anything about that until next week when I'm a little bit further. I literally just started the Nuzlocke challenge yesterday on Pokemon Ruby, and I tried to do one a while ago, and I failed, basically. Not all my Pokemon died. I just got to the point where I couldn't get any further because my Pokemon were all too underleveled. And I didn't want to just sit and grind.
Yeah.
So this time I'm going to try and grind.
On Nuzlocke. It's all about the grinding.
But I don't want to be over leveled is the thing, like, because then it doesn't really feel like an achievement. It just feels like, I just put some time into it. And to be fair, I think I improved my strategy when I did my last Nuzlocke, because I kind of figured out my move sets and worked out what was going to work best in the long run. So this time I've like kind of semi-planned out a team. Obviously, I can't guarantee that I'm going to get those Pokemon, but I think if I'm trying to go with like the most common, most likely ones I'll get, and then figure out a move set based on the gyms I'm going to have the biggest trouble with and all that good shit.
It's just to top off with what you were saying about Nuzlocke. It seems weird because that was one of the first podcasts we had. It was like episode 3, maybe.
Was it really?
It was really early on.
Yeah, we were doing Nuzlocks. You and Isaac.
So early on.
Oh, holy shit!
And that's
a long time ago, you guys.
Long time ago.
That feels like a different life. That was like right at the beginning of
the beginning. Yeah. Here we are.
The lockdown.
Here we are. Zach, anything else to add, or do you want to jump into the quiz?
Let's do the quiz.
Let's do the quiz. All right, awesome. Does anyone want to do a song? You can do a song if you want to. You don't have to. We'd just be like,
quiz, it's the quiz. Quiz.
So I really enjoyed last week how Dav Weeks just screamed into the mic, and then Zach like casually got a guitar out, and then Dav was like, yeah.
So you're saying you didn't enjoy this week?
Oh no, it was just really funny when I was listening back.
No, it's fine. We get it.
I just missed Dav Weeks, okay?
We worked really hard on it, but it's fine. If you didn't like it, Jonny, you can just say so.
Yeah.
I literally we rewrote that over the week. I rehearsed it.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
But don't worry about it.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I missed some nights of sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
I missed some days of sleep.
I've not been eating.
I've not been drinking.
All right, here we go. First question. Again, spelling I don't really care about. You'll know it if you know. What is the name of the owl that helps you in the Zelda franchise?
Oh, this is cheeky.
Cheeky.
I think you should be.
Guesses.
I think you know. I think you should have to. I think you should be pretty strict on spelling here.
No, cause I'm gonna let off spelling purely because
it's absolute dog shit spelling.
Yes, but also I haven't got any other offers. So like it's basically if you don't know the answer, I've got nothing else to help you with. That's it. Gotta go with it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Press enter. Oh, Daf Gape, what did you go with?
Horace.
And Zach Hamilton.
It's Kibora Gebora.
I think you spelled it right. You did spell it right.
I think I did.
You did spell it right. Yeah.
What a stupid name.
I don't think I see. Everyone always says Kibora Gebora, but I don't think AE is an A sound, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it like? I don't know what it's supposed to be. But here's a good. Actually, do you know the forest that you start off in that game?
Yeah.
We've all played this game. What is it called? How do you pronounce it?
Which forest? Which game?
In Ocarina of Time.
Is that the?
I'll spell it out so you can.
Kakariko?
You can. No.
I've
spelled it out
recently.
There it is.
Oh, I'd go with Kokiri.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's
Jonny.
Kokiri.
Well, so I said Kokairi when I was a kid, but I guess it's Japanese, which would make it Kokiri, right? That would make the most sense.
Kokiri, Furisutu.
Yeah,
right.
I
mean, yeah. Daf Gape, our resident Japanese expert.
Anyone, do you know what? Come and comment or come see us in the streams and tell us. I need to know about Kibora Gebora and Kokiri Forest.
Okay, awesome. Question number 2. What was the very first song from the first Guitar Hero? I've got 4 options here. It's fine.
What?
The very first song?
The very first song from the very first Guitar Hero. I've got 4 options if you want.
As in the first song
the very
that
first
you
song
play.
From the
campaign.
Yeah, the very first song from the campaign that you play on the very first Guitar Hero. I have 4 options.
Give us some options.
Do you want the options? Okay. So it's I Love Rock and Roll, I Want to Be Sedated, Smoke on the Water, Thunder Kiss 65.
Oh, say them again for me.
I Love Rock and Roll, I Want to Be... actually, it's not I Want to Be. This is the Ramones we're talking about. It's I Want to Be Sedated, Smoke on the Water, Thunder Kiss 65. The Ramones would be so different if they were like pronouncing words and stuff.
I think it's one of 2.
So I Love Rock and Roll, I Want to Be
Well, it's one of 4, Zach.
I mean, Smoke on the Water, Thunder Kiss 65.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, press enter.
I pressed enter, but it took me to... Oh, no, it did work.
Okay, Zach Hamilton, what'd you go with?
I went with I Love Rock and Roll.
And Daf Gape?
I Want to Be Sedated.
I love rock and roll. Zach is right. I'm sorry, Davy.
It was either that or I thought it was going to be...
They're the first four.
Smoke on the Water.
They are the first
Smoke
four.
on the Water is such a...
In order, they go I Love Rock and Roll, I Want to Be Sedated, Thunder Kiss 65, Smoke on the Water. They're the first four songs from the game. Okay, question number 3. Hideo Kojima was involved with all of the following games, but which game was the first that he himself directed? So we got Penguin Adventure, Metal Gear, Snatcher, Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake.
The first one he was the director of.
He was the director of Penguin Adventure.
I really wanted to be Penguin Adventure.
I was very excited when I saw these four. Metal Gear, Snatcher, Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. Okay, you got answers?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Daf Gape, go first.
Snatcher.
Zach Hamilton.
That sounds plausible. I went with Metal Gear.
It is Metal Gear.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, very first.
I didn't think it was going to be that, but I didn't know what Snatcher was.
Penguin Adventure, he was the assistant designer. And then Metal Gear was the first game
Penguin
he
Adventure?
had any real, I guess, control over. Metal Gear was the first one. And it's really sad that he's still not involved in the Metal Gear franchise because Konami are not doing anything good with it. Anyway.
Hey, those pachinko machines.
I hate all pachinko machines because of Mario Sunshine. Question number 4. According to How Long to Beat, how many hours would it take to 100% complete Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle? The term used is completionist.
I never played it except for with you that one time.
I 100% completed it.
I mean, Zach.
Oh, really?
You have the last 3 weeks. You got it exactly right. 1 hour off and exactly right. So.
Can I look on my Switch? How long it took me?
I actually don't know how long it took me.
I've put my number in, but I'm gonna have a look on my Switch to see if I'm better or worse than the average.
Okay.
I don't know what the side quests and stuff are like. I don't know if it's like super. I feel like it might be longer than I think.
I don't know if it includes the Donkey Kong DLC. So just to throw that out there, I think this is just the original game without the Donkey Kong DLC. So don't include that in your mind.
Okay, I've got an answer.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
I have no idea.
Here we go. On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Press enter. Remember, it's the person closest. Zach, what'd you go with?
22 hours.
And Daf Gape?
35.
It's 43, so Daf Gape gets the point.
Wow, that's a big game.
It's a great game.
I thought it was kind of short.
Good. There are 100%. There are collectibles, and some of them are really, really hard to find.
Complete, yeah.
I figured.
Question number 5. Will Wright was inspired to create a game simulating life after he lost his home in the Oakland firestorm of 1991, and his family had to relocate. But what game did he create?
What's his name?
Will Wright.
I think I know this one.
Was inspired to create a game simulating life after he lost his home. I have 4 options if you want.
Brother of Won't Draw, by the way.
But you both have to agree to get the 4 options.
Nope.
Boo. Shit.
It's Mortal Kombat 8.
Ready to get so. Will Wright was inspired to create a game simulating life after he lost his home in the Oakland firestorm of 1991 and his family had to relocate. But what game did he create?
Oh, wait.
Very specific game, okay?
Yeah, I've changed my answer to something completely different now.
That's fine. You guys gonna answer?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Count of 3. 3,
Wait,
2...
no.
Disqualified!
3, 2, 1, press enter. Zach, what did you go with?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
And Dav,
that's what that game's about.
SimCity?
Dav, what was your original answer?
Well, original was Firewatch, but then I went to The Sims, and then I changed it to SimCity.
The answer is The Sims.
No!
Oh, no!
Oh, Dav.
That is heartbreaking.
That's heartbreaking. Yeah, he did make SimCity. Will Wright made Sim. So, Will Wright made The Sims, SimCity, Sim Life, and Spore. But it was The Sims that inspired him to make his house burnt down. He built a new one, and he included the house burning.
He's kind of a dark dude, right? Like, he made it so that you can definitely burn down your house if you want to.
I know.
With people inside.
Terrifying.
You can control the fire. That's what he wanted. He didn't want the fire to not happen. He just wanted to be able to control it. Kill who he wanted to kill.
Okay, question number 6. Which Sega game with a score of 97 is the highest rated by reviewers on Metacritic?
It better be Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Bear in mind, this is Metacritic, and just to give you one hint, Metacritic has not been around for as long as you think.
Old games get better scores than new games.
So I don't know if that helps or not, but yeah.
That's why Ocarina of Time is a 99.
I do have 4 options if you want them. But you both have to agree. You both have to agree. Okay, fine, cool.
Like, if we're thinking old Sonic...
but then, is it old Sonic?
Sega games. Then,
Is it old Sonic? Is it old Sega?
I think it's old Sonic. Right, I'm ready.
Okay, Zach, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, press enter, and then Zach, go first.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Daf Gape?
Oh, that's a good shout. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
So, it doesn't include the Sonic games that far back. So Metacritic doesn't go that far back.
Oh, I thought they would like retroactively get them in.
No, they didn't actually have any scores for them. And
I don't know any Sega games anymore.
Some of them were actually on there, but they actually weren't that high.
Shenmue 2.
So, no, not
Shenmue 2.
So, Dav Week somewhere is going to be giggling like a little schoolgirl because in fourth
That's
place
his job.
was Quake 3 Arena on the Dreamcast with 93. In second place was Virtua Fighter 4 on the PS2 with 94. In second place was Jet Grind Radio on the Dreamcast.
Oh.
And number 1 on the
Jet
Dreamcast,
Set
the top
Radio.
3 of the top 4 were on the Dreamcast, and number 1 with 97 is NFL 2K1. How crazy is that?
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's great. I love that.
When I saw that, I was like, that's why I was like really hinting.
That's a fucking meme.
Because that is madness. The best game.
We wouldn't have guessed NFL.
No, I think Zach might
way.
have.
I do guess NFL quite often, to be fair, or Madden, one of the two.
Tends to be.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 7. Name that badly described game.
Oh, fuck, I'm terrible at these.
Okay,
so far we're terrible at everything.
A spooky mansion leaves the player terrified for the very first time. This sucks.
Oh, god damn it.
A spooky mansion leaves the player terrified for the very first time. This sucks.
This sucks. Oh, god damn it.
Okay, did you get your answers?
Wait. You dick.
Okay, on the count of 3, 2, 1, press enter.
What'd
you go with, Zach? Zach, what'd you go with?
Luigi's Mansion.
Daf Gape, what'd you go with?
Resident Vacuum.
It's Resident... No, it's Luigi's Mansion. It's really
very good.
Luigi's Mansion.
Very good. I like the this sucks. That's
it was this sucks I had to make
no, that's
it was on
good.
there
That's good.
I was thinking
Otherwise,
Resident
could
Evil
be,
might throw you.
yeah.
Resident Evil might throw you. So I was like, this sucks. Okay.
That's funny.
Question number 8. Project Dream was the code name of a role-playing video game that eventually became a beloved video game series. Name that game series. I don't have any more. I don't have any help here.
Say it again.
Say it again.
So you just gotta know the answer or just guess the answer. Project Dream was the code name of a role-playing video game that eventually became a beloved video game series. Name that game series.
I know I've heard of Project Dream before, but
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't remember what it is.
You've both played this game.
Oh, I was going to go with
think-
Final Fantasy.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But I think you've both played this.
Project Dream.
But yeah. Are you guys going to answer?
No. A role-playing game.
You're going to love the next question, by the way.
Oh, titties.
I didn't say it was a role-play game. I said the Project Dream was a role-play game that eventually became a video game series.
Oh.
To be very specific
That's
there, it's-
sneaky. It's a sneaky question that you made less sneaky. Fuck.
Right.
Did
I
it
don't
become
know.
a role-playing game?
I don't know.
I'll never tell.
I'll never tell. Wow.
Fuck, I don't know.
I'm
Let's
gonna
just do it.
I'm gonna have to give you a count.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press enter.
No, it could have been Fable. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't put anything.
Zach, have a random guess. Throw an answer out into the ether.
Mother.
Mother. Okay, and Daf Gape.
Fable.
Fable's a good shout.
Yeah, that is a good shout.
But it was Banjo-Kazooie.
What the fuck?
Banjo-Kazooie. It started off as an RPG, then turned into a game like Donkey Kong. Then they added a bear, which in turn became Banjo-Kazooie.
Weird.
Speaking of Rare, what is the character order of the DK rap? Points for each character you get right.
Oh, god damn it. I'm
Can
pretty sure
we miss ones out?
If you don't know people's names and you'd rather, as long as like if you think I know these, if I can miss people out if you want to, it's your call.
So the order that we want the order.
Yes. So who goes first in the rap? Who goes second in the rap? Who's third? Who's fourth? Who's fifth? I have the order obviously in front of me.
I think I used to know the Donkey Kong rap. I'll be honest. I used to love that game.
Do you know what's crazy is that I actually looked online at this earlier, and people it's regarded as one of the worst things in video games, and I was like,
no.
I was really shocked.
Really not the worst thing in computer games.
So many awards for bad song, the worst thing ever made. I'm like, really?
I mean, it's silly, but
it's
that's
silly,
the point, right? It's for children.
Yeah.
But right, I've got my answer.
You got your answers?
Yeah, I've got
How
it.
many? 5.
There are 5. Yes, I'll give you that. There are 5.
Don't tell him that.
Okay, so press enter, and I want to see the order on your screen because obviously then you can't change it. Okay, and then I'll ask one of you to go first. So press enter. Great. So Dav, go first.
Donkey.
Yeah.
Diddy.
Yeah.
Dixie.
Yeah.
Lanky.
Yeah.
Cranky.
Okay. Zach.
That's interesting because I assumed that DK was last, so I went with Tiny, Lanky, Chunky, Diddy, Donkey.
Okay, so you both actually only got 1 point.
Damn.
You both only got 1 point. This is the order, okay? It goes DK, Tiny Kong, Lanky Kong, Diddy Kong, Chunky Kong. That's the order. That's the 5. I mean, Cranky's
Who
there,
the
but he's
hell is
playing...
Chunky Kong?
He's just the big fat one that just sort of has little legs and he can't jump.
No, I remember who he was.
Yeah, you remember who he was, yeah.
My whole point is, he was there and then never again.
Never seen again.
Yeah, and Lanky at least kind of had, a bit of, cult following, but Chunky, man.
Yep, gone. All right, question number 10. Which Smash game was Solid Snake's first appearance? Do you need the 4?
No. Oh.
I know the answer.
Yeah, I know it.
No, you don't. You're doubting yourself.
Okay,
You're
great.
not sure.
Press enter.
You think
3,
it might...
2, 1. You both
Wait.
went with... I'm just going to say you both went with Brawl. So
it's wrong as...
You both got a point. Well done.
Oh, good.
Yeah, both got a point. It was Brawl.
That's good because I got confused about the Wii and the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because the next one is Bros for Wii U and /4 3DS, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Cloud came out on the Wii U. I think that was the big one.
Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonetta. Yeah, great. Awesome. There is 2 points in it.
Yeah. So I need this to tie it.
This to tie it, which would be the very first time we've had a tie. How many games released on the PS1? This is the final question. How many games released on the PS1?
I don't remember. I never remember what it was last week, so I don't have a basis of comparison. Fuck.
This is how Dav Weeks took the win last week.
Yeah. I can't remember if he went insanely high or insanely low. I think he went pretty high for the Sega Saturn.
Dav Weeks often gets insanely high. He
does.
On life.
Insanely high on
On
life.
bubble tea.
All right, okay, so you go. 3, 2, 1, press enter.
Oh, fuck.
Dav, Gabe, what did you go with?
1,490.
Zach Hamilton, what did you go with?
4,500.
The answer was 7,918,
Yes!
which means Zach Hamilton takes the points, and actually means that Zach Hamilton has taken an 8-4 victory this week.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, well done.
To be fair, I got given a nice Ocarina of Time question to start off with.
Well,
It's all good when you do the Zelda ones, man. It's when the Final Fantasy ones come through.
Well, I try to balance it because I realized that I've done a lot of Final Fantasy ones recently. You're just sitting there going, I have no idea. I don't even know who anyone is called. Maybe.
I feel like I need to play some of them, maybe.
Yeah,
Except for the only one that I own, as you know, is Final
It's
Fantasy
13.
13. In fact, do you know what the funny thing
Gotta
is?
stream
I
it, man.
didn't own it. I borrowed it from a friend, and then recently that friend came to me and said, "Here's a bunch of Xbox 360 games, including Final Fantasy 13."
That's what it is.
So there it is.
Can I get some Madden NFL questions next week?
I will put some. The problem is Zach always guesses Madden NFL anyway.
I do.
That's
Yeah.
usually his backup answer.
Put in the question, he'll guess something else.
Alright, awesome. Which Madden NFL game is Madden NFL? Awesome. That is the end of podcast number 33. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Tell your friends and give us a review or comment, because that would mean the world to us. Like I said earlier, this podcast is supported by some lovely people over on Patreon, our patrons. So to everyone that contributes, thank you very much. We love you. And if you would like to support us, then please go ahead and visit our Patreon page, which is Video Games Ahoy. You can pay £1, £5, £10, or anything you'd like. And if you don't want to, then that's fine. You can continue listening to our podcasts. You just won't get to hear our Hall of Fames, which have been very fun. We recommend you checking those out because they are great. And you can listen to them for just £1 a month.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you could just do it for a month, get through all of them,
yep.
and then unsubscribe if you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we're also proud to say...
but you could do.
we are also affiliated with Green Man Gaming, so as ever, check them out in the link below. Because
they had some insane Cyber Monday deals, and I think some of those are still ongoing, so definitely worth checking out. I think Control was on there for less than £15.
That's
Ultimate Edition.
That's great. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, we're all streaming throughout the week, which is great. I think we filled most nights now.
6 nights a week,
which is amazing.
If we
can get Dad Weeks streaming on a Saturday afternoon, be lovely.
We've already got the podcast coming on a Saturday, you know.
I mean,
there is VGA, new VGA every single day of the week.
Every day in your eyeballs.
You can't escape us. You just can't. It's just don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just embrace it. We're like the warm podcast hug that you need. But yeah,
2 meters away though.
2 meters away. Warm embrace. 2 meters away. We are Video Games Ahoy, and we'll see you next week. Ahoy.
Ahoy.